Camera's rolling. Good morning, guys. Happy blessed Tuesday. Welcome to Poetry Corner. And this is the ongoing saga of Sean Edwards' love story, The Day I Met Him. And this is chapter 6, The Morning After. The morning after this storm. Remember, I had a big storm? So let's see how things are through the eyes of Charlotte. Let's read on, guys. I woke the next morning with a curious stillness in my heart, as if some delicate thread had been spun there overnight. The storm had passed. Sunlight spilled into my room in soft golden ribbons, dancing upon the floor as if it was eager to declare to the world renewed. Yet it was not the brightness of the room that stirred me, it was the memory of the night before. How strange that a single conversation spoken with more caution than boldness could alter one's sense of the world. Nothing had been promised, nothing declared, and yet something had shifted. I felt it, not as triumph, but a tremor of possibility, a tenderness that both warmed and settled me. I went about my morning as usual, or attempted to. My book lay open and unread, the tea cooled, untouched. Every domestic act felt oddly removed from reality, as if it was my hands performed them while thoughts existed in some other, newly awakened place. When I ventured outside, the garden glistened with the remnants of a storm. The roses, heavy with raindrops, bowed their heads with an elegance that matched my own mood. Humbled, touched, and changed. As I walked to the gate, I half expected him, though I sternly reminded myself expectation was foolish. Yet there lingered a faint anticipatory hush in the air, as if the world itself waited. He did not appear. Instead, Mrs. Alden's maid hurried towards me, cheeks flushed from haste. "Miss Harcourt, a note," she said. My breath caught, though I did my best to entirely untroubled. As I accepted the small folded paper, I thanked her, and waited until she had turned back towards the lane before I opened it, which read, "Miss Harcourt, I beg your pardon for my untimely visit yesterday. I allowed impulse more liberty than perhaps was wise. Yet I cannot regret it. Your kindness was welcome refuge from the storm. If your inclination allows, might I hope to join you for a walk tomorrow morning, provided the weather favours us. With sincere regards, Edward Everley." Warmth rose in me, not triumphant but grateful, tender, and tinged with a gravity I had not expected. For in his words I sensed restraint, yet also uncertainty in his request. It carried both hope and caution, like a lantern held to light a path that in neither of us yet dared to tread. I pressed his note to my palm, a moment feeling its presence as though it was fragile and a precious thing, and in truth it was. Yet through the day, as I went about my task, mending a tear in my glove, arranging a basket of small flowers, a thought returned again and again, unsettling like a shadow across sunlight. What if the world disapproves? For the affections stir freely in the heart. It is rarely permitted to blossom without witness or without cost. I knew too well how curiosity swiftly turns to conjecture, and conjecture to judgment. And his life, and his position, his connections, they were more visible than mine. I told myself it was foolish to worry, yet quite doubted the talent for persistence. Still, when evening fell, I folded his note and placed it carefully in my drawer. Not with the letters of duty or common correspondence, but in a small box where I had long kept things of personal sentiment. A dried sprig from childhood, a ribbon my mother once tied in my hair, a line of verse copied years before when I had timidly dreamed of romantic feelings. his letter joined them without hesitation. And as night settled, I found peace, not in certainty, but in readiness, for joy or sorrow, or perhaps both. For it is not that the nature of love beginnings, for is that not the nature of love's beginning, not the grand claim of possession, but the tender courage simply to hope. Tomorrow would come soon enough. So there you go, guys. That's Charlotte Edwards' love story, chapter 6. After the morning after the storm. Join me tomorrow for chapter 7, which is entitled Edward's Departure. Where fate, as it often does, just as affection begins to take shape. So where fate is often intervenes when affection takes shape. So there we go, guys. Join me Wednesday morning for that one. And but tonight we're going back to Topsy Tickle Town. Topsy Tickle Town. Topsy Tickle Town tonight, guys, and it's chapter 52. When the library books started arguing who was the most interesting. So well, join me for that, guys. And until then, have a lovely day. The rain has stopped lashing down on the roof. The sun is threatening to shine. So maybe we can get in the garden today later on. We'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me at Poetry Corner. And I hope you're enjoying the Charlotte Edwards love story told through her eyes, through her emotions. And chapter 7 tomorrow, guys. Edward's departure. Edward has to go away just when their feelings are starting to gather pace. So, but is that life's like that, isn't it? Something causes comes up to interrupt your love story, your romance. So there you go. We'll see what happens with Edward's departure tomorrow morning. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much. And join me for Topsy Tickle Town tonight, guys. And find out why the library books are arguing to see who's most interesting. There you go, guys. Take care then, guys. And God bless us all. Bye-bye for now.